Hello, my name is Ignacio Mota and I'm the Regional Director for Sunmoney in Latin America. In this video, I want to be able to help you to see the difference between Sunmoney business and the multi-level business. Very often when people hear about us or when you're talking to people about this business system, they tend to believe that it's the same thing as any other multi-level business. And unfortunately, the ones that have had bad experiences with multi-level, they will start to think, maybe I shouldn't join Sunmoney because maybe in my other businesses I was failing, or maybe the business was not completely honest, or maybe I lose the money. So therefore, you lose a prospect because unfortunately they don't have the right information. And if you don't have the right information, then you won't be able to handle those considerations. So you will see that after these few minutes that I talk to you here, there is a big difference and it makes sense because it's common sense once you have the correct information. So here we go. Now, first of all, I would like to tell you that I will be talking by experience because before Sunmoney, I used to belong to some other multi-level businesses. So I know what I'm talking about. So first of all, I would like to go over three particular points that makes the multi-level business multi-level, right? It doesn't matter if the business has to do with vitamins, selling vitamins, or beauty products, or cleaning supplies for the house. There's a huge amount of businesses that are using this system to be able to make sure that their products are sold and in the hands of the consumers. Okay, but that's the first point we have to understand. Most of these companies, they work with physical products, a product that can be given to somebody and that person can use it. Obviously, most of these companies, they either produce these products in their own factories, or maybe they use a third party that produces in their factory the products, and then they themselves, sell them as their own products. However it is, I can tell you that there is a lot of products out there on the market that are very good, that are really healthy, and I definitely recommend. But there is a big difference between Sunmoney and the multi-level business. First of all, since these businesses work with physical products, you have to remember that for the company to survive, it needs to keep moving and circulating these products. If the products don't circulate and they are not being used by the consumers, then the company goes down. Why? Because that's how they live with, right? They live by the amount of sales of their products. So one particular thing about the multi-level business is that you have to buy product every single month. In fact, it's an obligation for you, if you belong to the multi-level business, to buy a certain amount of products every single month. If you don't do that, the company will cancel your commissions, and sometimes you won't get anything, even though maybe you produce a lot and talk to a lot of people and you invited a lot of people during that month. So this becomes a situation because once you start growing up in this multi-level business, sometimes the obligation goes higher and sometimes you have to buy a bigger amount or a bigger quantity of this product, and sometimes you get stuck with a lot of product that you're not going to consume yourself. So you have two choices. You can either sell this to others and get back your money, or you just end up having a lot of product stuck somewhere in your house that you're not necessarily going to use. So that's one particular thing that makes multi-level business the way it is: obligated purchase monthly. And that doesn't just apply to you, it applies to every single member that you join into the business. The second thing that makes a multi-level business what it is the amount of volume of product being sold. You see, this is the main particular thing that makes these businesses to grow and expand, right? how much is the volume of product being sold. Obviously, every product has different prices. You will see maybe vitamins that cost a very small amount of money compared to even other products that could be really, really expensive. So the amount of volume being sold every single month is very, very important. If you don't do that, then the amount of commissions that you will get will be very, very small. And then you will end up every time feeling disappointed because you really have to work very, very hard every single month. In fact, I have known people that belong to the multi-level business, and at the end of the month they get like crazy because they have to sell product, no matter to who or how many, sometimes even themselves, just to make the numbers. Once they meet the numbers, then they're able to get whatever commissions they're supposed to get. But you see, that becomes a situation because if you're using this business, the multi-level business, as an extra income source, it's going to be a point where you're not going to be able to do other jobs or other activities because you will be totally concentrated on meeting the target every single month. And the most interesting thing about it is that whether you work like crazy during the month, at the end of the month, the numbers become zero. That means that the next month, you will start in zero. So that's somehow in a way a little bit hard because then every month becomes a challenge. And maybe you have some good months and maybe some months are very, very bad. That is one of the reasons why people on the multi-level businesses go away. They quit, they don't do anything else, and they start to believe that maybe it's a dishonest business, maybe this doesn't work, maybe the people on the top are winning instead of me, that I'm very low on the network, and so forth, right? Well, to tell you the truth, anything to be successful needs hard work. There isn't anything that is on the market now, whether it's multi-level or not, that will happen just because you want it. You need to work hard at it. But anyways, that's the second thing that makes multi-level what it is. And the third thing has to do with the levels. As you know, every single multi-level business has the idea that you get to a point where your amount of production is awarded by giving you a certain level or position. Some companies use names like diamond, like gold, like silver. Some others use names like executive director, whatever. It doesn't matter what name they're using, right? But the main thing about reaching to these levels is that obviously you are more aware that you have bigger responsibilities, but also you're able to get higher amount of percentage of bonuses. Some of these are pretty good. I have known people that are very, very good at what they do, and they maintain this level continuously, month after month. But some of those, they just quit. Why? Because you have to get to that point. You have to be able to reach to that point through your own sales and your own dedication in this multi-level business. If you don't do that, then you will never reach to those levels. It's not free. There's no other way around. You just have to work yourself up to be able to get to that point. So what is the thing about being on the top is that you have to keep working on those levels. Why? Because like I mentioned, every single month, everything starts in zero. And that means that you could lose your position if you don't make the target that month. So of course the people that have reached to that level, they have to work even harder than others. They have to dedicate their lives almost completely to the business to be able to maintain this level. Because otherwise, at the end of the month, if they didn't reach the target, they go down to the original level. So somehow that's a little bit disappointed, if you ask me, because obviously you work yourself for many months and now you could lose that, just like that. So you see, some money doesn't have any of those three elements, and that's what it makes it different. First of all, we do not sell solar energy. Actually, we can't. We're not in charge of doing that. The company is the one that has its own selling department, and they are the ones that are making the contracts with the governments and the factories in Europe to sell the energy being produced on our solar parks. So you don't have to get involved in that. You're not selling solar panels either, because we don't sell solar panels to be installed in people's houses. We understand, and I'm pretty sure you have seen other videos, that we're talking about a big scale type of industry here with Sunmoney. We're talking about millions of solar watts being produced every day. In a house, you can only maybe produce 10,000 watts. That's all. And there's a limitation, and obviously you're not the person that owns these solar panels is responsible for maintaining them, for ensuring it, from getting all the permissions from the government to be able to install these solar panels on the roof. So there's a huge amount of things that the owner who installs solar panels on the roof has to take care of. When you're in Sunmoney, you don't have to do anything of that. Sunmoney has its own departments that deals with that. Okay, so what are we selling? Well, we are selling a vision. We are selling the idea of pushing, right, or helping the idea of the use of renewable energy all around the planet, right? So that's what you're selling. You're not selling a product. So therefore, because of that, there is not obligated purchase. Sure, when you buy your license, you already have your own right to get money from the solar energy being sold. And also, if you decide, you can increase the amount of watts that are to your name by buying more solar watts. But there is no obligation from the company as to how many times you have to buy solar watts. That depends on you. You don't have to buy solar watts. You can just do it with your license, and the solar watts included on your license. And remember, it's only one payment. That's it. 25 years, you don't have to buy anything else if you don't want to. Okay, the second thing, volume. Well, do remember that the idea of creating the organic business community has to do with inviting other people, neighbors, friends, family members, anybody who understands the potential of this business, right? And who also buys a license. So since you were the one that invited that person, every single person is linked to you, to your community. So therefore, at some point, you will be having 20, 30, 50, 100, I don't know. There's no limit for the amount of people that you can have in your community. And the volume is created by them buying their license. So therefore, you will be getting money from your own watts because they were included on your license, but also you will get money from the watts of the rest of the people that have linked to you because you invited them, and the other people that they themselves invited. You see? So all those people become the volume. So you don't have to worry about creating a volume. In reality, you can just dedicate yourself on getting enough people that can produce for you, and the amount of watts that gets accumulated by all of them will always be yours, and you will be able to get a percentage of that for the next 25 years. Of course, if you don't get a community, if you don't do anything to invite anybody, you will still get money, but it will be a very small amount because the amount of watts that is included on your license is not enough to be able to start getting what you want, 2,000 euro a month, 5,000. When you create a community, you're creating that volume. And there's no obligation every month that you have to keep a certain amount of volume to get bonuses. No. In fact, let's say that, for example, one day in 1 month you already have like 50 people on your community. They all bought a license. They all have their watts included on their license. So of course you have your own watts plus the additional watts of every single member in your community. And for that, you deserve a percentage. But let's say, for example, in a month, nobody invited anybody else. You didn't invite anybody else. The same size of the community stays the same that month. What's going to happen? Nothing. You will still get money that month from that volume of accumulated watts because that's already there. You see, you already deserve it, and you will never be taking that away from you because it's part of your community. So you don't have to worry about making the target or about making volume to be able to get bonuses. You don't have to. You will get bonuses. Of course, if you have a bigger community, the bonuses will be bigger. But there's no specific targets to get. That's one thing you have to understand. And the other thing has to do with the levels. In Sunmoney, we don't have levels, okay? We do have higher percentage bonuses, but these are not gotten through your production. These, you buy them. Remember, every license, and we only have 3 licenses, right, give you the ability to get certain amount of percentages. All the licenses have the same benefits. The difference is how much percentage you will be getting. Of course, the higher percentage is paid from the 2000 license. And you have to remember that if you're not able to join in with a 2000 right away, you can start building up your business, and at some point when you have the money, then you can decide and buy it. It doesn't matter if it takes 1 month, if it takes 2 months, it doesn't matter. You can always do it whenever you decide. There's no obligation. The company will not tell you to move into a higher license because that's your own decision. So therefore, if you have your 2000 license paid for, you get the higher percentage. If that particular month there were no people coming into your business, you will still get the higher percentage of every single thing that you already produced. So you see, it's very different from the multi-level business. You will never be taking this higher percentage possibility. You always have it because, hey, you bought it. It's yours, okay? So there you go. These are the 3 differences that makes Sunmoney different from the multi-level business. Of course, maybe something similar to multi-level is the fact that you have to invite people, that you have to register them, that maybe, that you have to create a network. Okay, that could be a little bit more associated to the multi-level business, but it is not a multi-level business. You have to remember that anytime you talk to somebody about the business, you have to emphasize that we are an organic business community, and you have to make sure they understand that. Because to tell the truth, we are the only ones in the industry of renewable energy of high quantities, right, around the world that we're doing this business. There's no other company like us doing the same thing. You can check on Google, any company that belongs to the renewable energy business is private, and whoever is winning or getting profit from that are the owners, not people like you, people like me, people like anybody around the world that don't necessarily own a lot of money. You see what I mean? So this is a very great opportunity. This is very potential. There is a big future with Sunmoney. So that is it for now. I hope this clarifies everything regarding the difference between multi-level business and the Sunmoney business. If you have any more questions, please let me know or ask the person that shared this video with you. Have a good day.